how do you apply stone impregnating sealer? So these sealers have to soak in, have to impregnate or penetrate into the surface of the stone and the grout. It's best to work in small areas. We always advise doing a test area first to determine how absorbent that stone is. We want to make sure that it is very absorbent. There's nothing on the surface that will prevent that penetrating sealer and impregnate getting into the stone itself, getting into the grout. So if there's any existing sealer on there, that needs to be stripped off. If there's curing agents, if it's concrete, for example, that needs to come off. Any paints. So any kind of sealer that's going to restrict the penetrating sealer from soaking in needs to be removed or cleaned off. Then it needs to be dry. We don't want the surface filled with water, filled with moisture. We want those micropores, those capillaries, we want those to be filled up with the penetrating sealer. So again, the surface needs to be clean, it needs to be dry and absorbent. The best way to apply a penetrating sealer is generally to use a pump-up sprayer if you're using large areas, or you can use a lamb's wool applicator, a brush or a roller. You just want to make sure that that sealer is soaking in within about 10 minutes. If it hasn't soaked in within those 10-15 minutes, then it needs to be moved onto an area that you haven't sealed already. So brush or roller it onto another area. Most of the time, if you're using the CoverSeal Premium, for example, one good heavy flood coat should be enough. It's highly repellent. If you do a test and you find it will take 2 coats and that second coat will also be absorbed after within 10 minutes, then go ahead and apply a second coat as soon as you can after the first coat. So do your test first to determine whether you need 1 or 2 coats. You certainly don't want to wait more than an hour before applying a second coat if that's necessary, because then you'll get the first coat rejecting the second coat. If after 10-15 minutes you've still got sealer sitting on the top, ponding on the top, then that needs to be wiped up, cleaned up. You can use a cloth, slightly damp cloth. You can use a scrubbing machine with a white pad, or you can use what they call a carpet bonnet or soft bonnet to mop up or wipe up or buff off that excess sealer.